Movie camera title: Daddy Please Stop. The true story of a little girl no one listened to. Little girl, and she will always cry shouting, Daddy please stop, Daddy it's paining me, Daddy it's scary. In a quiet town called Kato, far away from the noise of the city, there lived a little girl named Lua. She was just 7 years old, full of innocence, with eyes that once sparkled like the morning sun. But behind that tiny face lived a pain no one could see. Every night, the walls of her home echoed with her cries. Daddy, please stop. Daddy, it's hurting me. Yet outside her house looked perfect. Happy family, a successful mother, a hard-working father. No one knew what was happening behind those walls. No one except little Lua. Lua lived with her parents, Mr. Ari, a web developer who worked from home. Everyone in Kato admired the Asa family. People said, "They are blessed. Look at how successful they are." But what they didn't know was that success had stolen Asa's time. And time had stolen Lua's childhood. Asa left home early each morning, rushing to her store, while Ari stayed home, working on his computer. To the world it was the perfect balance. But in reality, that balance hid a dark secret. One afternoon, while Lua was in her room playing with her dolls, her father walked in and said softly, "Lua, Daddy wants to show you what it means to be a woman. But it's our little secret." At 7 years old, Lua didn't understand what he meant. She trusted him because he was her father, the man who was supposed to protect her. But that trust was shattered that day. What followed was pain, confusion, and silence. From that day, Lua stopped smiling. She avoided eye contact. She feared the nights. Her laughter, once bright and innocent, faded into whispers of fear. One evening, Lua gathered all the courage in her tiny heart and went to her mother. She found her sitting at the dining table, surrounded by money, receipts, and ledgers. "Mommy," Lua said, her voice trembling, "why does Daddy hurt me when you're not home?" Asa didn't even look up. "Lua, not now," she said sharply. "Can't you see I'm busy? Go and do your homework." Lua's lips quivered. "But Mommy, it hurts." Asa sighed loudly, flipping through her papers. "Lua, I said not now. Stop making up stories." And just like that, the moment was gone. The only chance Lua had to be heard vanished under piles of paperwork and money. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Every time Lua tried to speak, her mother shut her down. "Lua, stop lying. Lua, your father is a good man. Lua, you're just seeking attention." So she stopped talking. She stopped trying. She sat by her window every night, hugging her teddy bear, whispering, "Maybe I'll just disappear. Maybe then Mommy will listen." One rainy evening, Lua sat at the staircase, tears streaming down her face. She watched her mother come home, drenched but still carrying her ledger. "Mommy," she said softly, "please, can I talk to you?" Asa groaned, setting her bag down. "What is it this time?" Lua swallowed hard. "It's about Daddy, Asa slammed the table. "Lua, enough. I am tired of your stories. Your father loves you. You are an ungrateful child." Lua froze. The words hit harder than any slap. She quietly turned and walked to her room. In that silence, Something inside her broke. Then, one afternoon, something unexpected happened. Asa returned home early. She had forgotten an important document and rushed back from the shop. As she opened the front door, the house was silent. Too silent. She walked toward Lua's room. And that's when she heard it. A sound no mother should ever hear. She pushed open the door and saw what no mother should ever see. Her husband and her child. The world around her froze. The sound of her own scream echoed through the walls. The police were called immediately. Mr. Ari was arrested. In his defense, he said, "Asa was never around. I was lonely. But there is no excuse for evil. No justification for destroying innocence." Ari was sentenced to life imprisonment. And Asa collapsed under the weight of guilt. For the first time in years, she looked at her daughter and saw the truth. The silent cry she had ignored. The pain she had dismissed. The monster she had allowed to live under her roof. Lua was taken for therapy. At first, she refused to speak to anyone. But slowly, through months of counseling, she began to heal. She learned to draw again. She smiled a little. And every time she looked at her mother, she saw someone who was trying to love, to listen, to make up for the lost years. Asa sold her business and dedicated her life to protecting other children. She started a foundation for abused kids in Cato, in honor of her daughter, Lua's light. She told her story everywhere she could, saying, "I was a mother who didn't listen. And it almost cost me my daughter." This story may sound like fiction, but it's the story of many children around the world. Children who cry out but are never heard. Children who hide their pain behind silence. If you are a parent, a guardian, or even a neighbor, listen. Pay attention to the little signs. A withdrawn child. Sudden fear. A quiet voice that wasn't quiet before. Because sometimes those whispers are screams for help. And to every Lua out there, you are not alone. You can heal. Your story can still shine light for others. Thank you for listening to this story. If it touched your heart, please share it. Someone out there might need to hear it. And remember, no amount of money, no level of success, no busy schedule is worth losing the ones you love. I'm Big Mummy of the Big Mummy Show. And don't forget to subscribe, so I'll see you in the next story. Stay kind, stay listening, and stay human.